Domestic machine quilting on your sewing machine and tension issues. How fun is that? Well, it's not. We don't want tension issues. Nobody wants tension issues. So I've taught for quite a few years, and I've taught a lot of students how to quilt on their domestic machine. Now, one thing I have found is I will walk around a classroom and I will watch my students stitch. And a lot of times they say, oh, my tension is off. My tension is off. Well, I will tell them, I said, well, why don't you just slow down a little bit? Because some people think that if you put the pedal to the metal and you're stitching really fast, that you're going to get your quilt done quickly. Well, yeah, you are, but then it's going to look like you have tension issues and skipped stitches. So I always tell my students to slow down. So they do, they slow down, especially around those curves, and the stitching looks a lot smoother once they start slowing down. And they even have even stitches after that. Another thing is I'll ask, why is your quilt in your lap and hanging over the table? So that is causing drag. It's causing tension on your quilt that can make your stitches look like you're having tension issues. So keep your quilt out of your lap up on the table and don't let it hang over the table. It'll help you tremendously, and it'll make your quilting progress, your quilting experience a lot smoother. And one more thing is change your needle. Maybe your needle is dull. Sometimes those needles, sometimes they do some crazy things. So change your needle. And if all else fails, then adjust your tension. So I had my tension is always set at about 5, maybe give or take a little. I can stitch nice even stitches between 4 and 5 on mine, but every machine is different, so don't go by what I'm telling you. So I did this little experiment here, and I stitched out this little, I wouldn't even call it a design. It's more of just a scribble. I was trying to work on some tension. So it all looks really good on the front. Everything looks good. I eventually, right about here, I lowered my tension from a 5 to a 3. And then you can see when I turn this over how my tension looks. Not very pretty at all. So my tension was too loose, and so therefore it was pulling the top thread to the back, causing all that mess on the back, which we definitely don't want. So I brought my tension back up to 5, and it stitched out perfectly. Then I decided to go the other direction. So I stitched out this one here, and I tightened my tension to 9, and right here, I don't know if you can see this or not, but the tension kind of messed up a little bit right here in this little corner. So my tension was too tight, so it was pulling the bobbin thread up to the top. So now I know where my tension needs to be. It needs to be between 4 and 5. So with these tips, I wish you well with your tension.